power of compound interest. Yet another reason to start investing for retirement early. Welcome to today's program.
Relationships that build wealth, create opportunities, the right solutions. That's what we do at JN Fund Managers.
We're in pursuit of your financial security.
Portfolio and investment management services for individuals and corporate clients, from wealth building and risk management to preparing for a comfortable retirement. Strong, stable, secure.
We're in pursuit of your success.
Let's talk. JN Fund Managers, your safer, smarter financial partner.
Ayana Lee, Assistant Manager Pensions, JN Fund Managers Limited, joins our radio team of retirement planning experts. Welcome, Ayana.
Thanks for having me, Annette. Hello, listeners.
All the retirement planning experts we've had on the program have spoken of the benefits of starting our retirement plans early on. The power of compound interest has been mentioned more than a few times. This morning, we'll explore the subject further. Let's begin, Ayana, by reminding ourselves what exactly is compound interest.
Thanks, Annette. There are two types of interest, compound interest and simple interest. Compound interest is interest calculated on the principal and also on the accumulated interest. Example, 10% annually on a starting amount of $1,000. Year 0, you would have accumulated $1,100. Year 1, you would calculate 10% on $1,100, so you would end up with $1,210.
Yes.
And then in year 2, 10% is going to be calculated on the 1,210, which will accumulate to 1,331.
Interest on top of interest.
Interest on top of interest. On the other hand is simple interest. With this method, interest is always charged on the principal amount. Using the same figures for simple interest, in year 2, you would not have accumulated as much as you would have using the compound interest method.
I see, Ayana. Thank you. So how can we use compound interest to help us in our financial planning for retirement?
Okay, Annette. Remember the example given earlier that illustrated the power of compounding interest? Apply that in terms of a member of an approved superannuation fund or approved retirement scheme contributing that amount at X interest rate. The more contributions you make, the more interest is earned on those contributions and the more funds you will have for retirement. You typically will enjoy the benefits of compounding interest. The earlier you begin to save, the more benefit you will receive from compounding interest. But do not be discouraged if you have not started. In fact, it is never too late to start saving. You just may have to double the amount in savings to basically catch up.
To illustrate your first point, Ayana, let's create 2 individual employees who work for a company that has an approved superannuation fund. One employee has chosen to increase his additional voluntary contributions, the other hasn't. Walk me through the differences that each person could enjoy from his decision, that is, to choose or not to choose the route of AVCs, additional voluntary contributions.
Sure, Annette. Let us assume an annual salary of $1 million. That equates to monthly $83,333. For a member who contributes only 5% pension, he will contribute $4,166 monthly. Versus a person who contributes 10% pension, he will contribute $8,333. When you compare the two, the savings actually realized by the members are in tax, which would be approximately $1,100, and an additional pension savings of $4,166. Now think of actually saving more than the difference in the salary. Once vested, meaning being entitled to the employer's contributions, some superannuation funds of companies actually match the additional voluntary contribution. It should be in the interest of everyone to find out if this is a benefit of the superannuation fund of which they are members.
Wow, Yana, those figures speak to the multiple benefits. However, I found really interesting the information regarding vesting. So some superann funds of companies actually match the additional voluntary contribution. That by itself is a huge incentive to go the AVC route. Good stuff. So compound interest, we've learned, happens when the interest that accrues to an amount of money in turn earns interest. It has a snowball effect. It can become an important part of our retirement plan. I guess you could say compound interest can easily be the gift you make to your retirement plans that keeps on giving. So more about AVCs, Ayana. Is there a limit to the amount that one can contribute?
Yes, Annette. The total contributions per annum should be 20% of remuneration. That is no more than 20%. So if the employer contributes 5%, the compulsory is 5%, you may contribute up to 10%. Members should, however, be guided by the rules of their superannuation fund.
Let me make this clear. It's your net salary or your gross salary?
It will be calculated on your gross salary. Therefore, the tax benefit arises.
I see. So if I'm getting excited about hearing this and I'm not currently making an additional voluntary contribution, can I discuss doing so with my pension administrator or my HR manager?
You will discuss this option with your HR manager. However, depending on the employer, additional voluntary contributions may be increased, decreased, or discontinued during the year or at the beginning of the year.
In an earlier program, our guest shared how at the start of each year, she reviewed all her finances, including her retirement strategy. Ayana, specifically speaking to contributors of an approved superannuation fund, what advice would you share?
I would advise members to familiarize themselves with the rules of their superannuation fund. Discuss with their HR manager the options to increase their contributions and the effect it will have on their net salary. The needs of individuals will vary, so it is up to the member how best they wish to maximize their benefits.
Ayana, thanks for visiting us. We look forward to having you again in the near future.
Thank you, Annette, for having me on today's program.
Listeners, I've been speaking with Ayana Lee, Assistant Manager Pensions, JN Fund Managers Limited. Always remember, you may speak to any financial advisor at JNFM for more information and one-on-one consultations. A repeat of the program now being aired will be uploaded to JNFM's Facebook page later today. Please email your questions to jnfundmanagers@jnbs.com or contact us through our website or text us on 504-1719. That's 504-1719. We share the reminder that we should enjoy our journey to retirement. That's our here and now, even as we plan for the future. Take care of yourself and others. Until next week, bye-bye.